Hello, my wonderful friend. Welcome back or welcome. For the very first time, today's video is a must-watch. We're diving into something incredibly important, but rarely talked about with the care it deserves. 3 places women want to be touched. Now I know what you're thinking. And yes, we're going to talk about where and how to touch a woman, to truly thrill her in a way that feels natural, respectful, and powerful. Because here's the truth. Touch is magical. It's not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, even transformational. It can spark attraction, build trust, and deepen connection like nothing else. Let's be real for a second. Touch is one of the main reasons we crave relationships. It's part of how we bond, how we express affection, how we fall in love. That moment when your hand brushes hers, that moment, it can set her heart racing. But here's the thing. Because you're a good, decent guy, the kind of man who's looking for a sweet, loving, emotionally safe relationship, it's absolutely essential that you understand how to touch her. And just as importantly, why, because let's face it, the last thing you want is to come across as creepy. But on the flip side, if you never touch her at all, you risk staying stuck in the friend zone. Invisible, unromantic, unmemorable. And that's not what either of you want. That's why this video matters. It's about finding that perfect middle ground, where you touch her in a way that makes her feel safe, seen, and drawn to you, not repelled or uncomfortable. Music. If you're someone who's looking for a happy, fulfilling, lifelong relationship with a kind, soft-hearted woman, this knowledge isn't just helpful, it's critical. And here's the good news. You don't have to guess. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how and where to touch a woman, to create that spark, deepen the connection, and make her feel excited to be close to you. You're about to discover the best places to touch a woman. And this part is key: how to do it in a way that thrills her emotionally and physically, without crossing lines or playing games. So if that sounds like something you want to master, stay with me to the very end. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos like this. My name is Amelia. This channel is your go-to resource for learning how to attract that sweet, feminine, loyal love you've been hoping for. Without games, without manipulation, just real strategies to help you find real love. Because here's what I believe. You're not just here to learn how to touch a woman. You're here to understand how to connect with her heart, to make her feel cherished, wanted, and safe in your presence. And that kind of connection, it starts with intentional touch. Now, quick note before we get into the 13 places, there are actually 2 phases to this. Yes, that's right. 2 very different stages of how and where you can touch a woman. Phase 1, when you're not in a relationship with her yet. Phase 2, when you are in a relationship, you're dating, there's mutual affection, and things are progressing. And trust me, there's a dramatic difference in how you can and should touch a woman depending on which phase you're in. It's crucial to understand this because if you touch her like you're already in a relationship, before you've built that emotional closeness, it can completely freak her out. She might feel like you're trying to fast forward something that hasn't developed yet, and that will send her running in the opposite direction. But if you follow the right steps at the right time, she'll feel like she's living out a romantic movie. You'll go from, "Is he just a friend?" to, "I can't stop thinking about him." Ready to get started? Let's begin with Phase 1. How to touch her when you're not in a relationship yet. Phase 1, touch points. Alright, let's talk about Phase 1. How to touch her when you're not in a relationship yet. This is where so many good guys mess up. Not because they're creepy, but because they jump the gun. They think physical touch equals chemistry. But here's the truth. Touch only builds attraction when it's appropriate, respectful, and emotionally safe. And when you're not in a relationship yet, subtlety is your superpower. So let's begin. Music. 1. Her hands. Subtle, casual contact. The first place a woman wants to be touched, her hands. Now this doesn't mean grabbing her hand, like you're already holding hands in the middle of a candle-lit dinner. Nope, you're not there yet. But here's what you can do. Let your hands lightly brush against hers when you're handing her something. Let that moment linger just a half second longer than necessary. Maybe you're passing her a pen, a coffee cup, or your phone. Let that moment happen. It's tiny, it's casual. But it's loaded with subconscious meaning. That single subtle touch, it plants a seed. It makes her stop and think, did he just that felt kind of good? And then she'll go tell her best friends about it. No joke, that one innocent moment will be analyzed in the group chat like it's national news. Trust me. So yes, even before your official, a gentle touch on the hands can give her butterflies if you do it right. 2. Her upper arm. Safe, playful touch. The second place, a woman wants to be touched her upper arm. This is such an underrated touch point. It's safe, friendly, and if done playfully or supportively, it can send her a strong signal that says, hey, I see you. I'm comfortable around you. I like being near you. You don't need to make it a dramatic moment. It could be a light touch, during a laugh, maybe a gentle tap when you're joking around, maybe a quick understanding squeeze if she's telling you something vulnerable or heartfelt. The upper arm is non-threatening, but still completely intimate when done with intention. And here's what makes it powerful. She won't recoil from it like she might from more forward touches. She'll lean into it because it feels natural and makes her feel seen, respected, and even a little desired. 3. Her back. The right spot matters. Next up, her back. Now hold up, this one has rules because the back is a large area and where you touch makes all the difference. If you go too high, it feels like you're patting your sister on the back after she gets an A on her report card. Friend zone. If you go too low, it's instantly creepy and she will feel that. So what's the sweet spot? Right around her shoulder blade or just slightly lower, that middle back area. This is the kind of touch you use when you're guiding her through a door, leaning in to tell her something in a loud room, or just showing a little extra presence and protectiveness. That kind of touch, casual but intentional, triggers something deep in her. It feels sheltering. It feels like you're saying, you're safe with me. And when a woman feels safe with you, that's when she starts to fall for you. 4. Proximity touch. Sit close to her. Now here's one that's not exactly a place, but it matters just as much. Sit close to her, close enough that your legs or arms might lightly brush. You don't need to put your arm around her. You're not in a relationship yet, but sitting close casually, confidently, tells her you're comfortable in her presence. It says you're not afraid to be near her and that you want to be near her. And guess what? She'll notice even if she pretends not to. Even if she says nothing, that little point of contact, when your arm touches hers ever so lightly, will play over in her mind. Like a scene in a movie. It's romantic, it's subtle, it works. 5. Hugs. Real, sincere connection. Let's talk about hugs. Yes, even in phase 1, you can and should hug her if the moment is right. Why? Because everyone, and I mean everyone, needs and wants to be hugged. It's a primal thing. Human touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A sincere warm hug can go so far in building emotional trust. So the next time you greet her or say goodbye, don't do the awkward wave. Offer a warm, friendly hug. Keep it respectful but genuine. And here's the magic part. The moment she melts into that hug, her body tells her mind, I feel safe. I feel close to him. I like this. That's emotional intimacy before a single romantic word is spoken. 6. Offer her your arm. Chivalry still works. This next one, it's old school, but it's powerful. Offer her your arm, especially if you're walking together, or if she's wearing heels, or if you're navigating stairs or uneven ground. Few men do this anymore, which is exactly why you should. It tells her, I've got you. You can lean on me, I'll make sure you're safe. And yes, she'll also notice your arm. She may even take a mental note of how it feels to hold on to you. She might even imagine what it would feel like to hold on longer. And that, my friend, is how attraction begins. It's respectful, it's masculine, and it leaves an unforgettable impression. Up next, how to make her want you to touch her. We'll dive into the psychology of attraction, and how to set the stage. So your touch is wanted, not tolerated, was how to make her want you to touch her. Okay, by now you've learned where to touch her when you're not yet in a relationship. But here's something just as important, maybe even more important. If she doesn't want you to touch her, it doesn't matter how perfect your timing or technique is. The difference between creepy and charming touch. Simple. Does she want it? So let's talk about how to create that emotional desire. So when you do touch her, it feels right for both of you. One, attraction before action. The truth is, if she's not already feeling some attraction to you, your touch won't land the way you hope it will. That means your first priority isn't touch. It's capturing her attention and making her feel intrigued and emotionally safe. How do you do that? Show her confidence, not arrogance. Make her laugh. Humor builds closeness. Be kind. Real kindness creates trust. Be present, fully there when you're with her. Use your voice. How you speak tells her who you are. When you make her feel emotionally connected to you, she'll start to crave physical connection too. So let's build the moment slowly. Think of attraction like a fire. It doesn't start with a spark and then instantly explode. It grows slowly, naturally. When you understand this, your touch becomes part of a moment, not a random action. Look into her eyes, smile. Pay attention to her body language. And when the moment feels right, your touch won't feel invasive. It'll feel inevitable. 3. Avoid the creep zone. Let's address something no one likes to talk about, but everyone needs to hear. There's a fine line between being a gentleman who touches a woman's heart and being that guy who invades her space. The second you touch her too soon, too intimately, or without emotional context, her brain goes into protection mode. She'll pull away, she'll close off, she'll label you in her mind as unsafe. So how do you avoid that? Always wait for rapport, always watch for cues. Is she leaning in, smiling, touching you back? Never touch intimate areas early. Waist, face, legs. Wait for phase 2. Keep your energy calm, grounded and respectful. 4. Emotional safety leads to physical openness. If she feels emotionally safe with you, she'll be more physically open to you. It's not about being smooth or saying the perfect line. It's about building trust. When she knows you're not just after her body but her mind, her heart and her respect, that's when the game changes. That's when she wants to touch you back. Now you're ready for phase 2. Alright, now that you understand the foundations of touch before a relationship, it's time to level up. Let's talk about phase 2, where you're actually in a relationship dating each other. And there's mutual interest and closeness. This is where things get even more exciting because now the connection is established. The boundaries are different. The energy is more open and your touch can go deeper emotionally and physically. But a quick reminder, this next section is still about respect, presence, and emotional intimacy. We're not talking about going too far too fast. We're talking about knowing how to touch her in a way that makes her melt, that makes her feel loved, beautiful, and safe in your arms. Welcome to phase 2. This is where the connection deepens and your touch becomes more emotionally and physically intimate. By this point, you and the woman you're dating have built trust, chemistry, and mutual affection. You're not guessing anymore. You've both chosen each other. And now touch isn't just thrilling. It becomes a way to communicate love without words. So let's dive in. 1. Her hair. Gentle, romantic, feminine touch. The first place you can touch a woman when you're in a relationship. Her hair. There's something deeply intimate and romantic about this one. It's soft, it's personal. And if she's attracted to you, it will thrill her. Try gently tucking her hair behind her ear, run your fingers through the ends, or simply brush it back from her face when you're looking into her eyes. That moment makes her feel feminine, seen, and wanted. But a word of advice, gauge her mood. Some women don't like their hair messed up, especially if they styled it for your date. If you're unsure, watch her reaction and adjust when done right. This simple gesture will make her feel cherished. 2. Her face. Delicate, loving, intimate. The next place, her face. This is one of the most emotionally rich places you can touch a woman. There's something so intimate about a man reaching out and gently caressing her cheek. Maybe you touch her face right before you kiss her. Maybe you cradle her jaw when you're looking into her eyes. Those small, slow touches are heart-melting. They say more than words ever could. They tell her, "You're beautiful to me, I see you, I value you." And that right there, that's how you build deep emotional intimacy. Music 3. Her waist. Masculine, protective, sexy. Let's talk about her waist. This is one of the places where masculine energy meets feminine response when done with care. If you're standing beside her, wrap your arm lightly around her waist. If you're hugging her, let your hands rest there. If you're kissing her, place your hands gently on her hips or the small of her back. This is powerful not because it's sexual but because it's grounding. It makes her feel physically close to you. And when she feels your strength around her waist, she feels protected, desired, and secure. Touching her waist shows her, "You're mine and I'm yours." 4. Put your arm around her. Classic connection move. This one's classic and for good reason. Whether you're watching a movie, walking through the park, or just sitting beside her, putting your arm around her shoulders or back is such a comforting gesture. It's not flashy, it's not over the top, but it communicates everything. Presence, care, affection, security. The difference between a friend zone shoulder tap and a romantic arm wrap is context and timing. So don't just throw your arm around her like your buddies watching football. Instead, let it slide around her shoulders slowly, like you're wrapping her in warmth. It's not just about touch, it's about saying, "I've got you." A 5. Her knee tender, subtle romantic touch. Alright, this one might surprise you. Her knee is actually a very tender, emotionally intimate place to touch when you're in a relationship. Imagine this. You're sitting next to her, maybe at dinner or on the couch. You gently place your hand on her knee, maybe give a light squeeze or a slow, reassuring stroke. This gesture is incredibly grounding. It says, "I'm close, I'm here, I'm connected to you." She'll notice it. And if she's feeling safe and loved, she'll lean into it. Just keep it respectful, keep it light. That's how you make it romantic, not invasive. 6. Her neck. Delicate, emotional, underrated. The neck is one of the most sensitive areas on the body, and when touched tenderly, it can create an instant emotional and physical spark. This isn't about grabbing. This isn't about dominance. This is about grace, subtlety, romance. Maybe you're brushing her hair aside, and your fingers trail softly over her neck. Maybe you're holding her as you kiss her, and your thumb grazes her skin. There, handled gently, her neck becomes a romantic focal point, and your touch can make her feel deeply desired. The goal isn't intensity, it's emotional electricity. 7. Her mouth. Not just for kisses. And finally, yes, her mouth of why. Of course, kissing is one of the most cherished parts of romantic connection. But there's something even more touching, pun intended, than just a kiss. Think of the classic romantic movie moment. She takes a bite of something sweet and gets a little frosting on her lip. You gently reach up and wipe it off with your thumb, and boom, her heart skips a beat. That's not just a cute scene. It's based on real emotional response when you care for her gently like that. It shows attentiveness, it shows presence, it shows that you're in the moment with her. And that, my friend, is what makes your touch irresistible. The touches you must save for marriage. Alright, we've covered phase 1 and phase 2. Now let's talk about something that takes true emotional maturity to understand. There's a line, a sacred boundary, that separates touches that deepen intimacy from touches that rush past true connection and end up damaging trust. Here's the truth. Anything more than what we've talked about here, those deeper, more intimate and private forms of physical contact, they belong in marriage. Not before now. I know that's not the popular thing to say in today's world. But it's the right thing. It's the thing that builds real, lasting love, why waiting attracts classy, loyal women. If you want a high-quality woman, the kind who is loyal, loving, gentle, and emotionally safe, then you've got to be the kind of man who respects boundaries and values purity. Because that kind of woman, she doesn't want to share the most sacred parts of herself with a man she's not married to. She wants to give those things to one man forever. And she wants to know that he respects her enough to wait. And if you cross that line too soon, you're sending a very different message, one that turns high-value women off instantly. She's not thinking, wow, he's bold. She's thinking, this man doesn't see me as special, just physical. That's not attractive. That's a red flag. That's how you lose her. Physical boundaries protect you both. Physical boundaries aren't just about morality, they're about wisdom. They protect her emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but they also protect you. Because when you show a woman that you're willing to wait, that you value her more than her body, you become the kind of man she feels safe opening her heart to and giving her whole life to. What kind of woman do you want? This is the question I want you to ask yourself honestly. Do you want a classy, loyal, loving woman who will adore you and stand by you for life? Or do you want someone who's only in it for a temporary attraction and surface-level pleasure? If you want the first, the kind of love that's soft, real romantic and lasts forever, then you need to start with the right touch, at the right time, in the right way. Respect, patience, emotional presence. These are your secret weapons. Want to learn how to attract that kind of woman if you've ever felt frustrated by modern dating? If you've tried doing things the right way, but still got burned? If you're done wasting time on women who don't truly love you for you, then listen. This is why I created my academy. It's why I've helped so many men find the soft, sweet, faithful love they've always dreamed of. Inside my program, I show you the step-by-step path to attracting high-quality women, building deep emotional connection, creating a relationship that leads to real lasting love. And yes, learning how to make her fall deeply, hopelessly in love with you. And I want that for you. Thank you so much for watching, my amazing friend. If you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I also really want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Did you enjoy this topic? Would you like more content like this if you would just comment? Yes, it helps me know what you want more of and gives me energy to keep creating for you. If you have a friend who needs this, someone good-hearted who wants a real relationship, please share this with him. Help him out, support each other. And hey, if you don't follow me on social media yet, check the links below. I share exclusive content and daily encouragements, especially on End of the Video Club Word. Alright, you made it to the end. You're part of my End of the Video Club and I'm so grateful for you. Let's make today's word blessed because that's how I feel to have you here. Comment blessed below if you're one of the rock stars who stayed all the way through. You're the best.